Hello, welcome to the morning news. A German aircraft carrying 148 people has crashed in southern France early this Tuesday. A 320 Airbus operated by Lufthansa on airline German wings was covering the Barcelona-Dusseldorf route when it went down in the French Alps near the city of Digne. 142 passengers and 6 crew were on board at the time of the crash. French President François Hollande told a press conference that officials believe there are no survivors. The campaign to collect signatures against the U.S. decree against Venezuela continues. According to officials, more than 2,500,000 have signed the petition in just a few days since it's been launched by President Nicolás Maduro last week. Solidarity actions also take place in other countries, with former Uruguay President José Mujica leading a march in Montevideo Monday. Venezuela's Vice President Jorge Arreaza said the people are sending clear message to the Obama administration.
There are the signatures. We keep collecting more and more signatures and involving the people of Venezuela in this process of sending a clear message to the government of the United States that we are an independent people and nothing and no one will change that reality.
And as the world marks the International Day for the right to the truth concerning gross human rights violations and for the dignity of victims, activists and family members of the 43 missing Ayotzinapa students continued to push for justice. On Monday, protesters converged in front of Mexico's Senate to demand the return of the missing students, almost 6 months since the disappearance in the town of ECUADOR. Meanwhile, families of the Ayotzinapa students continue on tour in the United States. They are calling on U.S. lawmakers, organizations, and others to pressure the Mexican government on the case. 2 months since assuming the organization's presidency, Ecuador hosted a meeting of ministers from the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, or CELAC. The meeting focused on strengthening the regional cooperation, especially in light of recent challenges, including oil prices and U.S. interference. Our correspondent Lee Sharfius has more.
Ecuador, holding the pro tempore presidency of CELAC for 2015, hosted a meeting with the foreign ministers of Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic to discuss planning for the regional body and strategies for increasing international partnerships. Over the next 5 years, CELAC is looking to strengthen relationships with the European Union, China, Russia, and India, among other countries.
We will discuss planning for the body until 2020, which was the point of a letter sent by 2 presidents in the meeting of San Jose to see where we are in agreement and what we need to later propose. We will define the policies of the next summit of CELAC, the European Union CELAC summit for this year, and we also discuss the relationship of CELAC with other countries and their advancement.
Foreign ministers present at the meeting analyzed the objectives proposed by Ecuador over the next 5-year period. Goals include reducing extreme poverty and inequality, providing greater support to educational, science, and technological initiatives, increasing efforts to protect the environment and combat climate change, and greater investment to infrastructure development.
We have challenges, such as refining our internal work method of the 33 countries which we live in. It is not easy work to see this and achieve it among 33 countries, but that is the possibility which presents itself to those leading the body, and which Ecuador is doing a very good job in looking for these opportunities to unite the 33 very diverse member states of CELAC.
Present at the meeting were representatives of the Economic Commission of Latin America and the Caribbean, eager to discuss possibilities for cooperation with the regional body. CELAC has been functioning since 2011 and, like UNASUR and ALBA, supports regional integration.
The Dominican Republic has a lot of expectations for the pro tempore presidency that Ecuador is holding, President Correa and in a direct way, Minister Patiño. As you have seen, CELAC is an extraordinary experience of integration of all our people of Latin America and the Caribbean.
representing nearly 600 million people of Latin America and the Caribbean. While holding the pro tempore presidency of CELAC, Ecuador will work towards furthering the goals of the body, ensuring the efficiency of its internal functioning, and increasing cooperation with international actors. Liz Sherfias, teleSUR, Ecuador.
And crime continues to be a major concern in Honduras. Calls for greater gun control as a way to reduce violence are being met with skepticism. For this story, we go to our Central American correspondent, Gerardo Torres.
The Honduran government has decided to increase gun control as a response to the crime rate that has made the country one of the most violent in the world. But many believe that the control actions will only affect honest people and not organized crime.
Corruption will always exist, and criminals will get weapons using any means and from many places. It doesn't matter how many laws they implement. The laws in Honduras are not respected.
The weapons that are registered properly are owned by honest people. Honest people should have a weapon to defend themselves. But it is the others that are not going to ask for their papers. I am carrying my weapon hidden.
According to the armed forces in the country, there are more than 700,000 illegal weapons that came to the region during the 1980s, and since then there has been an increase in drug gang activity, bringing even more arms. The government is talking of reducing the number of weapons allowed for each individual from 5 to 3.
They are talking of reducing the number of guns from 5 to 3, but that is the proposal of Congress. But that is also absurd because this means that a family could have an average of 12 weapons in their home, and that's an arsenal. But for what reason would a person want a weapon? That is the question. A citizen without any instruction on how to use any type of weapon? I don't have a weapon, I don't carry one, and I don't think I need it. I think that Honduras, in this moment of violence, needs a general disarmament and that only security forces have weapons.
Honduras continues looking for ways to reduce violence, but have yet to come with an effective solution against crime and against corruption. Gerardo Torres, teleSUR, Central America.
Authorities in Peru confirms that at least 37 people were killed and 70 injured in a multi-vehicle collision involving 3 buses and a truck Monday. According to police, a bus filled with members of a Christian evangelical church swerved into an oncoming lane on the Pan American Highway. The government declared an emergency and ordered more ambulances to the site. Local hospitals were reportedly overwhelmed with victims. Road accidents claimed 3,500 lives in 2013. And Vanuatu Islands are still struggling to recover from a devastating cyclone last week. Officials estimate that some 166,000 people, more than half of Vanuatu's population, was affected by Cyclone Pam. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization is leading aid efforts. However, relief institutions maintain that more support is needed after 300 km/h winds destroyed fields and crops throughout the country. NATO's new Secretary General was in the Canadian capital Monday as part of his visit to meet with the organization's member states. Jens Stoltenberg was in Ottawa meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper. The two leaders held private talks on the crisis in Ukraine and operations against the Islamic State. Harper is expected to announce that Canada will extend its mission against ISIS to include bombing targets in Syria. And thousands have flooded to the southernmost point of the Korean peninsula to witness a unique phenomenon that only takes place once a year. Referred to as a South Korea's Sea Pardon, changes in tides creates a causeway between 40 and 60 meters wide between the islands of Jeondo and Modo. The low tide only lasts for about an hour, but tourists and locals take the opportunity to walk out into the sea, dig for shellfish, and collect seaweed. More on these on our website, telesurtv.net/English. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.